And today I dared to be stupid. In fact, I might dare to be the most stupid when we have a little treat and look at something from the animated line. I've given you a few hints. I'm sure you can put it together. If you saw the title, then you already know what this is. It's gonna be Animated Wreck-Gar. Oh yeah, a trip back in time, but this is gonna be a fun one in the latest GotBot True review. Hey everyone, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby. And hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor. All the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for. All of those links, and along with all my social media links, all down in the description below. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube. Become a channel member. And this is Animated Wreck-Gar. It's not often, man, that I get the treat of looking at something from animated. I don't really have anything in my collection from that era. But when I do, I usually like it. Not to say it's perfect, but I usually have fun with it. And that's the mark of something done well, when you have fun with it. And Wreck-Gar, despite this huge backpack that we're going to talk about, is fun. I enjoy the guy. Is he perfect? No. How does he compare with some other Wreck-Gars that we've had? I guess we're going to see. With the impending arrival of the Studio Series 86 Wreck-Gar, it seemed like a really fitting time to go back in time and look at the last time we had a Voyager Wreck-Gar, which I believe was in fact this guy. The other ones we've gotten have been deluxes. So without any further ado, let's head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And boy, oh boy, do I find this to be a real treat today. It's not often that I get the opportunity to look at something from animated. So with the kind of recent announcement and recent release of the Studio Series 86 Wreck-Gar, a chance to go back and look at a good old animated Voyager class Wreck-Gar is absolutely a treat. I've never looked at this mold before, so this is gonna be fun. Remember the day when a Voyager, and this guy was a Voyager, was 226 grams. 226 grams as a Voyager, man. Leader class Shockwave with all of his parts on. Leader class Siege Shockwave with all of his parts on. I think was like 282, something like that. Leader class Astro Train with all of his parts on, I think was something like 219, or it was the other way around. One was 82, 92, the other was 219, and they were leaders. And modern era, I'll say Voyagers, and when I say modern era, I mean like within this decade, typically are 145 to 165 grams. More recently, we've had some very disturbing, troubling trends. I'm just saying, I know times change, I know things change. This guy was 226 grams. Then something like Studio Series Hot Rod that they like to call a Voyager for some weird, messed up reason, they're saying is still a Voyager at 77 grams. I don't get it. Don't get it for me. But this guy is fun. Garbage truck Wreck-Gar. Boy, oh boy, he does have the ability to kind of kick those pieces out. They're not connected, so he has to kind of, I don't know, dance, I suppose. These can move up out of the way if you want, and when you move them up, wouldn't you know it, we have an Autobot symbol over here. We can, of course, have the guy roll. He rolls stupendously well. I'll say this, I have not been able to get the front here to be flush. Apparently that's a fairly common issue. I think it has something to do with having the transformation hinge of the orange part of the shoulder perfectly in line with where it should be. And if it's not perfectly in line, the shoulders won't even quite go back. It's weird. It's a very specific tolerance I find on the shoulders. This, of course, isn't mine. This is on loan to me by friend of the channel, Maximal10. I love that we can push these out. We have, I don't even know what these are, like bladed things back here. They can go out or come in. We're going to take them out and we're going to just look at them closer, very briefly. And We'll see if we're able to fit them in. I think they do fit on his arms though, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get back to this guy in just a moment. And molded in clear plastic, we do have this arm blade thing. The orange, the silver, that's both paint. If we actually turn this around, you can see that we actually have a peg back here, so it's nice because he'll be able to hopefully put it on his arm. But you can certainly see it's all clear plastic. So clear plastic, not a new thing, folks. And now, as fun as this guy is, I'm not going to pretend that his transformation isn't super duper simple and that the guy has one heck of a backpack, baby. So we begin really by separating the top from the grill section. The grill section is really his chest. And really we can kind of bring all of that back. And when we do so, we can also fold in the two front tires. They're a bit of a tight tolerance, and this whole piece can also fold down inside. Next, we take his legs and we bring them up. And we open out the toes, and open out the toes, and open out the heel, and open out the heel. And the arms are attached to a black armature. The black armature is what is connected to the back section here that flips it all up around. So really, all you want to do is pick the arms off of the black armature. There's two little rectangular tabs that go into the forearms. And then we fold out a shoulder, we fold out a shoulder, and we can rotate it so that the arms are forward. And you can probably guess where this is going now. We're going to turn the guy around, and when we turn the guy around like this, we're going to flip up the head. There is a rectangular section on the back of the head. We're going to collapse the frame in. That rectangular section on the head, or the neck I guess, goes into the backpack, and this is the gigantic backpack in the end that is on poor old Wreck-Gar. What a shame he has it, but amazingly, he can still stand. Woo, baby. We're gonna get into some scores, but first I wanna see if these bladed things can go on his arm. And oh yeah, they go on his arms for sure. I figured that, of course, each arm has two tires on it. The second tire, kind of back close to the elbow, is indented. And you can, of course, attach his two bladed things there. That's exactly what I expected. Here he is alongside the revealed the shield Wreck-Gar from a long time ago, and the, I believe it was Power of the Primes Wreck-Gar, if I'm not mistaken. My plan, and the way I have always used my collection, is with the RTS being my Wreck-Gar and the Power of the Primes just being another junkion. In fact, I recently kind of added the Sparkless bot as another junkion, and I call him Rust Bucket. So, when we get the new Wreck-Gar, which looks quintessentially Wreck-Gar-ish, I guess I'll have a few that now technically Wreck-Gars that I'm going to use as junkions. The animated will not be among them, unfortunately, because, as I said, he is not mine. He is just on loan. Nevertheless, I am impressed by the size and the heft and the fact that even with such a huge, egregious backpack, he's able to stand. So what about some scores for the guy? So in terms of his transformation, it's not very inspired, there's no doubt about it. It's easy to do. It functions the way it's designed quite well. So it's a 10 in that regard, but it's very much like the Earthrise RC, which is kind of cram the robot together and put the vehicle over it, which is only about a 5 because it's sort of a lazy way of doing it. So I'll split the difference and say it's a 7.5. What about the animation look, the accuracy, the paint? 10. I mean, arguably the orange could be maybe a different hue shade, but I mean the red on the side, or the rust color I guess, on the side of his head is accurate. The silver on the top, on that handle piece on the top of his head, accurate. The little bit of detailing on his forehead, accurate. The paint on the face, accurate. The chest, same thing. I guess he's missing what looks to be an Autobot symbol right there in the center of his chest. Maybe it's not 10, maybe it's 9.5. The shoulders, the upper arms, the forearms, they're all right. The tires are correct. The thumb and the fingers should be black, I suppose, if I'm not mistaken. The hips, the waist, the thighs, all that is correct. The lower legs, the feet, the knees, all that looks correct. So we'll say 9.5 because it does look like he's missing an Autobot logo and the fingers should be black. So small gripe, really small gripe, pretty close to perfect. 7.5, 9.5. So far the guy's at 8.5. What about the articulation? Well, the articulation for the guy has a head that can go left, right, kind of up, not much up and down if you have it in actually. The shoulders can go all the way around, out to the side. Elbow not quite 90 degrees. We do have a swivel at the arm. The thumb doesn't move, but the fingers open and close. No wrist that I can discern. Yeah, no wrist. He shockingly does have a bit of a waist, obviously hindered by the backpack, but he does have one. The legs can go all the way out to the side. The hip skirt here can sort of move. They can go all the way forward. Again, can't really go back because of the backpack. You'd have to get the backpack kind of out of the way for the legs to go back. We have a thigh swivel built into the thigh. We have a knee to 90 degrees. We have toe that can go up and down, heel that can go up and down, no ankle tilt. I'm going to say that the articulation is, and the fact that he can stand with that gigantic backpack amazes me. I'm going to say it's 8.5. Overall, I'm going to say that this wreck-gar is an 8.5. I don't think he is going to be able to compare to the like 86 Studio Series one, but the one thing I do prefer about this guy over that is that the hip flaps here are smaller. On the 86, I get it. They're like saddlebags. I understand that in bike mode they're supposed to be there. It's just I feel like on the 86 led they sort of stick off a bit too far around the waist. I understand the logic of having them there, but I kind of like the more streamlined, smaller kind of side flaps better. That's just me, and that's just an aesthetic preference. Overall, 8.5. Not perfect. The backpack is going to bother a lot of people, but you know what? He functions really well, and you did definitely get a great bang for your buck if you bought wreck-gar. And here we are once again, and here he is. And look, I dig wreck-gar, man. I liked him on the show. I like him in plastic. Again, there's strengths and weaknesses here. The bulky, hefty, robust plastic, big strength. The articulation, it's all there. Now, to be fair, maybe, like the arms, you know, maybe they should have used more than a friction here. Maybe it should have been a soft ratchet or something. It'd be nice if the elbows could get just slightly more. They're pretty much 90 degrees, but not quite. So it'd be nice if maybe that part of the arm was slightly longer or the shoulder pad was slightly smaller, but it's a minor gripe. The coloration is pretty much perfect. Yes, he does have, and this is the elephant in the room, he does have a big, let's face it, ugly backpack. It's not nice, man. It's not fun. But to my shock and amazement, the guy still stands really, really well. And he still encapsulates the character that he's intended to be astonishingly well. The transformation, you still have some moving parts. It's just the shell covers everything. It's not the first time we've seen a shell former. It sure won't be the last. Is it slightly disappointing? Definitely. Do I think it could have been done better? Sure. Do I look forward to the day when we get an update to this guy? Definitely. But as is for now, Animated was a great line. This guy was still a great entry. I very much look forward to seeing the Studio Series 86 Voyager to see kind of how it compares to the last Voyager we had. That's going to be fun, I think. I hope. We'll see. For now, let me know what you think about Animated Wreck-Gar. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring. Or, of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. While you're at it, man, hit the subscribe button. Stick around, have some fun with us. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you very much do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.